What's up,
It was
guys?
awesome catching you yesterday, huh?
Dude, it was sick. How are y'all doing?
Pretty nice, pretty nice. Mikado is still in France. I'm still in LA, so I'm gonna enjoy the last 2 days I have here.
Oh yeah, it was sick to meet you yesterday, man. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, really fun. Travis also he was glad. I mean, we actually met like a couple of heroes. That was so fun, like Gigi, Jakey, Rasmer. It was so nice.
Shout out to Rasmer. Um,
Yeah.
really quick, can you guys smile real quick for thumbnail for me? Thanks. All right, what's with the twin thing? What's going on here? You guys like, are you mirrored? Is it the same person? Like, what's up?
Yeah, man.
I'm a full AI. I'm a full AI-based person.
That's so funny. Like identical twins. I love it.
Yeah.
But guys, congratulations on for anyone that doesn't know. I think everybody knows, but two of the founders of Fantasy Top, which is I don't know one of my favorite apps in crypto. I think one of the most popular apps over the last couple years to come out. Like I don't know if there's anything you guys want to add, but recently announced a bridge to Base off of Blast, which is incredible news. Is there anything to add to an intro? Like
I think that's pretty much it, and we're so pumped to be bridging to base. Blast has been giving us so much, and it has been a great adventures. But then it was like a bit falling down in the end. But we're so grateful for the whole stuff. But now with base and their whole new project with the base wallets and the whole migration and how they want to push social apps and how fantasy fits so well in this kind of like mini games for even onboarding people to crypto and city and how fun it is and like addictive. We're so grateful for them to have pushed that. We were like one of the main partners for the mini app and very excited for what's next. And yeah, like it's looking great.
Yeah, the timelines were just like perfect for us to be. We took a bit of time. We didn't want to rush this decision of like migrating from another chain. And like, I mean, Blast was obviously dead, but we wanted to abstract the chain anyway. So for us, it was not that much of a big deal. And even though like the chain was dying, if new people came on Fantasy, you didn't know you were using Blast. So it was not really the point, and we didn't want it to blame the chain that much. But now seeing like what Coinbase is doing with Base, this mini app, like I mean, yesterday we all saw that it was like just quite insane, and the ambition that is behind that is just crazy. So it feels good to join at the right time, and hopefully we're going to be able to leverage this distribution channel a lot and make Fantasy grow.
I thought back to you like why did you guys land on Base? And like were you offered money from other chains? Like surely other chains try to buy Fantasy Top. Like what was your biggest offer and like did Base pay you? Why'd you land on Base?
So no, we didn't get paid by Base, and we honestly it was not something that we were looking for, because I mean as soon as you get paid for something, then you kind of like have to do something for them, and we just wanted to make sure that we're like completely free of our own decision. So we did get reached out by like pretty much every change that makes sense right now. Mega is abstract and all the and Monad also obviously. And so it was a tough decision, but at the end, what made us choose Base was like, so basically we didn't want it to look at like new L1 or L2. It was like just too risky. Like even if like Mega 8, for example, we just like really love the vibe and what's going on there, but taking another bet when we see what Blast became is just like too risky for like an app like Fantasy that's a bit more mature now. It's not doesn't need this level of risk. And so the only two options for us was either Solana or Base. And we love Solana trenches really much. I mean, you know, with Travis, Mikado and I, we've been in the trenches for quite some time now. And so it was actually like, we talked a lot, like both teams have like insane BD team, communities are like awesome. I guess at the end, what made us took the decision of Base were like three stuff. So it was first distribution. Definitely distribution was what mattered for us the most. Like, and with the Coinbase mini app, the fact that Fantasy will be like, I mean, hundreds of thousands people will download the Coinbase wallet and will be able to play Fantasy, the free-to-play version that we've made and built specifically for this occasion. So in terms of like channel of acquisition, it's just insane. And so the second point was community-wise. And I think like Fantadio people, even though they like love Solana too, they were more like of EVM guy and like already big on Base. And so I would say the vibe was more like matching there compared to the hardcore trenchers of Solana. And the last point would be tech-wise, because I mean, bridging to Base took us a week, And most of the work that we've done was like to make sure that the bridging experience was like perfect and smooth. But like contract wise, it's like EVM chain is like so simple to switch from compared to Solana, where I mean, checking with the Solana Foundation teams, they told us it would take like around 2 to 3 months, which could have been done, but like since there was like no huge net advantage, it was just like too much work for like for this basically.
Hey, be honest. What was the biggest offer a chain gave you to bridge Fantasy Top?
I mean, not gonna share that much about that. Like we once again we were not interested in
Yeah,
taking
fair,
like
fair.
money. Like
Sorry.
like honestly, if like even that I mean I made a tweet saying like even if Vera Chain for example had offered us like 5 million, we would not have taken it. Like and they didn't. Huh? It's a hypothetical. It's just like saying that
Yeah.
like if a dead chain was coming and like oh please come because I mean fantasy have been around for like more than a year. The community is still crazy. The retention is still insane. Which I would say, and I'm really proud of this aspect because in crypto game in general, like I mean attention come and goes and hype come and goes. So like staying there for a long time is already an achievement in its own, and so definitely that's valuable for chain. So definitely they were interested, but we were looking really for like a partner, a long-term partner that we could work with and make sure that it aligned with our thought and our ambition basically.
But if any chains want to offer up to 30 millions, we are open to move again. It's all on the table. No problem. Just kidding.
Can you guys explain the free to play fantasy version, like when that launched, and then what you think that will do for growth?
Yeah, so it's like since the start, like we didn't have any way for new people to just like start playing, and like which was really I believe really believe like the limiting factor for the growth of fantasy. Like the barrier to entry is quite high. You have to learn a lot of things, but most of the players when they're like in it and they start playing, that they are like really fun, and that's why we have like very high retentions in the long term. But then we struggle to bring like newer people from this complexity of the game. And so we really try to focus a lot on making the whole things more easier, making a separate type of game for people to learn and making like very like addictive in a way. Like we took a lot of inspiration from Clash Royale, Crash of Clans, like those all those mobile game where it's like super fun, much more fast paced, a lot of things to do, and we try to adapt it as much as we could. And so when like Coinbase like reached out about this idea of the mini app, and they wanted to make us as a partner and show these kind of things, it was kind of the perfect timing and idea to push for this. So we just went along on that part, and I think like so far from the feedback we received, like we've seen a lot of new people starting playing the game and enjoying it, and also even like current players even playing it and still enjoying it. So there is a lot of potential. It's up to us to harness it properly. Yeah, we look forward to these kind of things. Also, like very curious how much like actually base wallets reach out to the masses, and how many people actually try this kind of app store within the wallet. We'll see. We'll be like first in line to get the feeling of this. And yeah, don't want to brag too much and stay humble, but like the free to play is really enjoyable as a mini app, and most of the other mini app I've tried were not as much fun. So I think we have a good shot, but we'll see what we can do with it.
How big is a group of people that play fantasy tournaments like no matter what? Like how big is the core people that no matter when it is, how it is they're entering tournament?
I would say like 4,000, 3,000. Like there's more than on the weekly, but if we count the people that will propose a deck every single week and play every single week, we're like the I would say like the 4,000, maybe a bit more. I'm not so sure. But yeah, and like the insanity of this number every time we think about it, it's so shocking. Is that uh, I'm not. I don't want to say some wrong stuff, but around 70% of those have been playing with us for a full year. So the retention on that front is absolutely insane, and it made us realize that the main thing that is like slowing us down is really the complexity in the onboarding game. And for people like they've all heard, or like they all heard of fantasy, but most of them will be like, ah, yeah, but like it's too hard, or you need too much money, or these kind of things. And so we need a lot more education on our side to make them realize that actually with not that much money you could make a great deck in in the bronze league and win like the first rank. It's possible technically, but yeah, like it's part like the free to play is a big aspect to this. And yeah, the retention has been insane. All the Fantardio cabal is like the greatest people that we've been like meeting around the year, and nothing would have happened without them. So yeah, very grateful.
How much money do you need to enter? Like, what's the least amount of money you need to play in the paid like bronze league?
Like with 150 or like even 200 maybe maximum, you can get a great deck that can get you to the top 500 position in bronze, which is like definitely a winning deck and can give you like a valuable amount of rewards.
Yeah, if you really know like crypto Twitter and CT and how people are like playing and has been happening during the week, you have an insane age. Like compared,
Yeah.
like still like most of the people, even me, sometimes I'm way too lazy and just click like the autocomplete deck, but there is so many things, so many layers. It's a bit like poly market in some aspect. Like there are some people that are hardcore to this, and they will get like all the clues they can get to like best make the deck, and then they manage to get like a 1 to 2K per week of rewards. So half from ETH, half from cards, but still like consistently making this amount of money. And they're just more casual players that just vibe game. And even though with this, like with some luck, you can win. So it's like the and plus the cards have been maintaining like decently the value over time. So it's not a full meme coin. Sure, you will not
Yeah.
make 1,000x, but you cannot lose it all just like in a click. So a different kind of game to the whole like a meme coin in some way.
Do you guys have any plan to add heroes into the game that are not related to crypto, like mainstream celebrities, mainstream streamers, athletes, musicians, artists?
Yeah, we're actually starting to look at this, like even like checking other social network like TikTok could be like so much fun and like so much experiment that we could try and all. It still need to be decided. Like the free to play was definitely one key version of this, because creating a completely new market is a bit hard to kick off and maintain the flywheel, because after that you have to get rewards, you have to get manage the inflation and all. But with the free to play, we have a door where we could start like creating new niche of influencer, like different to crypto Twitter, so that people then come on the app and maybe like choose the topic that they prefer the most and start with like influencer and play with them that they actually know and like really love and all. And so with the free to play, it will be aware if we want to make a move to start like checking and understanding like what niche like would be valuable and where we should try to go. But I mean, this is still not a short-term plan. Like right now, like with the fantasy game, I mean, the base release was definitely our biggest release in a long time, and it's going to be our focus for the next couple of weeks and probably months. And then there is also the cloud aspect that we've been like building since like a couple of months. So I think, yeah, basically also something that's talks to us a lot, because since with fantasy we've been, I mean, assessing Twitter data and making sure that we can make sense of the signal versus the noise, and putting a score on basically anyone on Twitter. And InfoFi, I mean, when it came, it just like makes sense and it clicked for us. Like we are like a player that needs to enter this area too. And so like the game will obviously be like a big focus for like a part of the team, but another part will be much more focused and dedicated to cloud and making sure we can make InfoFi like more accessible and like basically democratize the access so that anyone can come and create and participate and fun, like so that we can track a community. So if a Mincan community want to come and like gather around so that we start tracking like their attention, the topic, like anything that they want in a way, they can start doing it and putting the funds. And we want to do it at a much lower cost than what like Kaito or the competitor can allow you to do. So really taking what makes fantasy great and trying to duplicate this and replicate that and make it as affordable and accessible as possible.
I've had a lot of people. This is probably a question you answer a lot, but I've had a lot of people ask me, especially yesterday, like, how do you become a hero?
This is actually with the cloud, that everything that started, because now with cloud we are tracking around like 100,000 people on crypto Twitter. So like hundreds of thousands of people are like getting tracked, and all the tweets will be tracked and assessed. And if they do like great content that have like great numbers and they do like meaningful and original content, they can get some cloud points. And so we have like season of 1 month and a half, and basically now anyone can become a hero. You just have to grind your way to the top of the leaderboards. And if at the end of the season, so like I think once just started like 2 weeks ago or something. So at the end of the next month, you're in the top 100, top 500 people, you can become a hero. And every month and a half, there will be 5 new heroes coming from this cloud system.
Okay. How much has the most traded hero in fantasy made in rewards?
Rewards, I mean, maybe it's even you. No, I think it's Craig or something. But
It can't be me.
No, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I would say I don't fully recall. I would say it's around 100K or a bit more
yeah, it's
in
depends
total.
of the
Like,
price of Thief, huh?
yeah, it depends of the price of if. Like at the real world, like where first cents when if were like 4,000 ish. Now we're getting back to it. Like let's go, we'll see. But yeah, in total, if for the current price, there is like in total, I think we've distributed around 3 to 4 millions to around 180 people overall. So we'll have to check the math, and that's actually something we should know better. But yeah, like we had like for sure a very big big pump at the beginning, but we've been so like grateful to the Fantadio communities for how much they be sticking out, and it really proved that this whole concept of the fantasy top game, where in the end all the heroes they just keep on going their shit on Twitter, streaming or whatever, just doing what they're doing best, and not having like not everybody cares, not all the heroes cares about it. A lot of heroes do care, but it's not even a requirement, and most of the players they are on CT anyway, and so this is really like the most powerful loop that we've been having, and that we want to double down on it. That's why clouds and this more generalized system we believe is extremely bullish to get into like a higher level also, because it's still very exclusive in some ways to be a fantasy heroes, and yeah, sure, like top 5 people can enter it every month, but that doesn't leave a lot of people like on a lot of room for that many peoples. And at the same time, we couldn't add like thousands of heroes, because then people get lost, they don't know the people, and they need to relate to some extent to who's on the platform. So that's why like we will believe like cloud is a not so much of a game, but much more like infrastructure type of info-fi aspect, where we can track a lot of people, and bringing like from, instead of being like top to bottom, have a system that is really bottom to top, and anybody regardless of their following can start tipping to the followers, and organizing like marketing stunts without having to pay like the big fees and being the big on the podiums. So much more accessible.
I have like a couple more math questions or data questions, but if you don't know, we could do it later. How much volume has the Fantasy Top marketplace done all time, and like how much have you guys made from that?
Let me check.
I know it's more than 150 millions total volume, but I'm not sure of the number as of now, honestly. And we take, we take 4% of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the pack sales would be also like on the other revenue stream that we make. But with the pack sale, we're trying to be really careful. I think it's less than 2% of the cards that we are like selling. The rest is going as reward for the community. So we try to still make revenue from it, but without diluting too much the player.
How much? Go ahead.
No, please.
No,
Okay.
just wanted to say, like, right now we're like, we are at the stage where like fully profitables, where we can pay the bill for the company and sustain it like fully from it, and at the same time like pay the tournaments rewards, and stay there for a longer term. But yeah, I actually I'm kind of ashamed not to have the full numbers of those volumes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask one more. You might not know. I should have told you I was gonna ask this before. How much has the best, like, who's the best tournament player in the history of Fantasy Top, and how much have they brought in from winnings?
Oh, Good one. Good one.
I'd say like so lately Auto has been very Auto that I'm sure you know
Yeah, I know.
has been like extremely performance with a few others like they are like with also AI Rev and some others and basically they bring in I could check but I'd say they bringing around like in with the ETH and the card rewards it's about like 5 to 7K a week I would say and this has been consistent ever since like in the last year. At the same time, also it's we should take into account the card that they're buying and these kind of things. But like for like this week, like the weekly price that we are giving out equals to around like 200K every week, with around like half in ETH and the rest in cards.
Whoa. Auto fucking suing, huh? 5 to 7K a week. I gotta lock back in, man. Fuck. You know, you guys did this thing a while. Oh, I know you remember this. You did this thing a while back where it was like, you basically had the hero rewards, and you were like, you could share it with your community. You could share 100% with your holders and get a legendary, or you could share none. Bro, I shared none. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm like, fuck. The legendary would be so clutch, man. You should do that. You should do it again. Give us a second chance to get a legendary.
You actually should get like you should have like a soulbound legendary of yourself. Like no, every
Okay, you
hero
do
has
have one?
that. Yeah,
Sick.
yeah. It's
But
actually
you
like
can't sell it.
yeah, you can't sell it normally.
Okay, here's one of the lessons I want to ask you is like, why do you think, okay, when I was off Twitter for like 2 months,
Yeah.
I was off Twitter for 2 months, like March, April, whatever, and your notifications die when you're not tweeting. And every single day I had like 15 pings in my noties. And I'm like, who the fuck is tweeting at me? And every single time it's like HK and Fantario and like 710 and like all these fucking Auto, all these guys every single day tweeting at me. And at first I'm like, damn, this shit is fucking annoying. And then I was like, wait, like that's love. Like the fantasy people, like they love. They just love. Like, what do you think it is about fantasy talk that once people come on the platform, they just don't leave?
I think they mostly have fun. To be like to be honest, like that's the I don't think you can stick around for a year without just like simply having fun. It's like as simple as that. And it's like hard in crypto. There's like a lot of stuff that you can do and you can build and you can use like in DeFi. Mincoin like is like super fun also, but like it's another type of game. Here, I think like Fantasy community have been like real and strong friendship. I mean, there is so many people that started with like not much, even like as a hero, like ICO Beast, for example, like when it started was quite small. And like fantasy to some extent like have helped like some of them, even Clemente, like become like quite famous on crypto Twitter. And the community overall like has been like winning a lot altogether. And this like strong friendship where no one is like trying to fight you against something else, because like fantasy is not PvP at the end. Like at the end, you can, yeah, like many people can win together. It's not like Mincoin where if you sell it, then the other one have to buy it, or like it's everyone can't win there. Where here on Fantasy, people just have fun, make friends, and can even win money. So the three criteria that everyone loves basically.
Hey, this is maybe a subjective question, but what is the best fantasy card of all time? Like, who's the best card? Not like who finishes the highest, but like what's the most used card across all decks, all tournaments ever?
I think DB is the most interesting card it can create, because it's either it will not tweet and it's like a 0, or it will tweet and it's an instant top 5, top 10. And so if you check out like the tournament rank that he had, it's like almost 1 out of 2, and it's a bit random. And so, you know, we have like this reverse league where actually you need to try to create the deck that will score the minimum point as possible. And so when you got a DB, you know that it can always be useful. But now the question is like, will it tweet on this week, on a given weekend? So I think it's where people had the most fun of always, because a lot of people will either put DB in their elite deck or in their like reverse tournament deck, and every week there is like one of the two community that will just like fail completely, while the other just crash it. So DB is definitely a great card. And then after I mean, yeah, there is many different like that. Many hero actually are playing this game of like tweeting for a week, then not tweeting for a week. So they're always useful either in reverse and then something else. Like Mackenzie has been doing that. Evan also. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
And
that's
last
some
question.
fun, stuff.
Last question. I'm gonna be late for the next one, but I want to ask this, and
Yes.
I have to go after this. How does Fantasy Top not run out of money to supply for tournament rewards?
Like now we're sustainable. Like we had to decrease a bit the amount of rewards, so we had to split there. But now, like with the money that we make, we can both pay our salary, the dev salary, and like finance the reward. So we have at least like more than I would say like 3 years of runaway in terms of rewards, if we include also what we already have and the productive revenue that we're making. So fantasy is here to stay, and we're not like playing a short game. And yeah, I don't really see why we will not be there. And I mean, with the free to play base and all, the growth is just going to come, and also we're pretty excited. And yeah.
You guys are awesome, man. Also, I didn't realize this until like right now, but I have your names flipped. So if you see clips, Mikado is Kipit and Kipit is Mikado. So I'm sorry.
I mean, we're twins, so either way, and ideally
It's fine.
we can be interchangeable and not be state anon to some extent. So
Yeah.
if people think I'm Kipit, that's all fine.
You guys are awesome, and one day we'll get Travis Pickle on here.
Oh, one day.
Yeah, one day maybe.
You guys are awesome.
If he exists for real.
Yeah, if he's a real person, yeah. If he's not just Kipit, yeah.
We'll see.
Shout out Fantasy Top, man. You guys fucking rock.
Thank you so much,
Congratulations
man.
on the bridge.
Thanks a lot.
We're rooting for you guys. Much love, man. Peace.
Peace.